Think of how many times you've either heard somebody say or you've said this yourself. Well, I would have exercised, but I ran out of time. Or I just don't have time to prepare healthy meals for myself or for my family. Time is such a commodity, such a valuable commodity, and it seems most of us don't have enough of it. But the reason for that is not that we have less time, of course. It's that we're usually trying to fit too many things into our day. And on top of that, we don't manage our time well. Can you honestly say that the person that does go to the gym on a regular basis and does prepare healthy meals, does plan ahead for what they're going to eat, actually has more available time than you? Some of them might, but others may have just as many other things going on in their life as you do, and yet because they manage their time well, they're able to get more done. Now, you could say, well, I'm too disorganized, I just can't manage my time. Well, if that's going to be your approach, then you're going to be stuck. And you will forever be battling getting in your exercise, getting in time to prepare healthy meals. Or you can choose to take some of your strengths, some of your opportunities to overcome the weakness of poor time management or the threat of a lot going on in your life. As with every other stage in this course, this one too comes down to choice. What are you going to do about your time? There's a tool that I learned to use years ago. Coach taught it to me in business, and it's called the 4D. Now, similar to the SMART goal setting system, the 4D time management tool is something that's existed for a number of years, and many business coaches use this with their clients. The 4Ds stand for delegate, defer, do, or dump. Dump could also be delete. We've got a lot of things that go on a daily basis that we don't need to be doing. We may not need to do them at all. We may not need to do them and we can have somebody else do them. Or they may not need to be done right now. Those would be the delete, delegate, and defer. And of course, there are some things that absolutely have to be done. How do we figure that out? The first thing that needs to be done is you need to know what you're actually doing on a daily basis. Much like I encourage you to count calories, at least initially, so that you can learn what you are consuming. Because if you don't know what you are really consuming, there's no way to make adjustments. Similarly, you need to track what your day looks like. I hear frequently from people, I get to the end of the day and it feels like I've accomplished nothing. Oh, that's a really frustrating feeling. But if you tracked everything that you did throughout the course of a day, you would very likely find out that you did a lot that day. A lot more than you thought you did. It's just it was so fragmented and it was in little bits and pieces here and there that you get to the end of the day and very few things actually got completed. You did a lot, but you never had the sense of satisfaction that things got done. And so the next day you pick up where you left off and you take on more things without having completed the former things. And you're always in this mode of feeling like you're not getting anything done, but you're doing a lot. So here's what we need to do. The first step in time management, and this is also going to be your first homework assignment in this stage, is tracking. At least for one day, carry around a notepad or print off the pages in the Care to Be Fit book for time tracking. Everything that you do, write down, even the minimal things. You can get as detailed as you would like. Of course, this is for you. And you can leave some things off if you don't think that they really impact your day. But I would encourage you that the more detailed you are, the more information you're going to get out of this stage. Now, it's just like calorie counting, it's going to be a little bit tedious, but we're not saying you need to do this the rest of your life. At least one day. The one day is going to be the eye-opener. Now, if you can do this for a week, you'll get even more information. But commit right now to choose a day in the next 2 days that you are going to write down everything you do. And the caveat to this is I would choose a day that's part of a somewhat normal routine. So if you're watching this near the end of the week, you may not want to write down everything that you do on a Saturday, on a day off, for instance. Choose a day that is fairly typical. If you say, I don't have a typical day, then that's fine. Then this is going to be an additional struggle for you. But it's likely that what you'll notice is that there are things that you duplicate. Even if you say that you don't have a typical day, every day is different. If you track this for a few days, you're going to see things are duplicated. Once you write everything down, then you're going to start dissecting all of those different things that you do. And they're going to start going in to the 4D tool, into those individual boxes: do, delegate, defer, dump. And you're going to start to see if you really need to be doing everything that you are doing. Are there other people in your life, even a spouse or children, employees, that you can delegate things to? A tendency, and I think this is really a tendency of mothers, is to do things that their children could do, but the mom does it because they don't want the hassle of teaching their children how to do it. It's just easier if I do it myself. It'll get done better if I do it myself. And while that may be true, we're doing two things. We're damaging our child's future because we're not teaching our children how to do things. So you may want to look at it that way. We're going to raise much more responsible children if we give them responsibilities, if we allow them to take charge of certain jobs. And if we take a little bit extra time, it will take time, to teach them how to do things. But once we teach them that, and then we let go, we've delegated, we've got them set up in a new routine of doing things, and we've taken something off of our plate. The key with delegation, two important things with delegation. First, you must set up a system so that you are creating a successful environment for the person that you're delegating to get the job done. So you can't just say, go do such and such, and then hope and expect that they'll do it properly. You actually need to walk them through the steps, oftentimes in writing, train them on how to do it, and then the second step in delegation is you have to let go. If you follow up everything that they've done, you haven't delegated. Then it's just being done twice. So remember that. Train using systems, and then let go. That's delegation. With defer, are there things that are on your list that you did today because it was suddenly presented to you and you said to yourself, I'm just going to get this over with? Or are you the type to take on things as they come because that's just what you do? It's the new shiny object, and you're going after that shiny object, and then another shiny object, and you run over there and you do that. But it doesn't really need to be done today. It may not even need to be done this week. Can you just table some things? Put it in the defer. Say, I'm going to get to it later. That's not procrastination. Procrastination is not doing things that you should be doing right now. Deferring is just making the choice that, you know what? There's other things that are more important. And this I'm choosing not to do right now. I'll get to it. I may even set a specific time frame in which to get to it, but it doesn't need to be done today or this week. Dump, well, that's pretty clear, are the things that you're doing that just don't need to be done, that you really don't have time for. Do you have a routine of watching maybe an afternoon television show that you really don't have time to watch, or an evening show? Are there other things that are not about self-care that you can just say, I don't have the time? This is infringing on leading a healthier lifestyle. I'm going to dump it. You got to be honest with yourself on this one. It can be a tough one. But when you choose to dump things, it's empowering and it's going to free up a lot of time. Even people that are very, very busy almost always have things in their life that they can dump that they just haven't admitted to yet. And then finally, you've got all the stuff that's going to go in your do box. We have stuff we need to do. But are you going to have some very important things in the do box? Are you going to have exercise? Are you going to have time to prepare healthy meals for you and your family? Healthy snacks, things such as that. Are you going to have time for self-care? That must be in the do box. You see, all of those other things that may end up in the do box, the point of this exercise is this stage is to create time for the things that you're probably not getting done on a regular basis. So make sure that the exercise, the self-care, and the preparing healthy meals is in that do box. And for many of you, there's going to be things such as your spiritual activities that you hold very important. Those need to be in the do box. Taking care of charitable activities that give you a sense of fulfillment and that help other people out. Those would be in the do box. So make sure that you're getting the important things in there. And that's how we're going to use this tool, the 4 Ds. The thing I love about time management is it is extremely empowering. It feels good when you are in control of your schedule. I used to be terrible at time management, but I had a coach that actually used this tool with me. And I cannot believe how much more control I gained over my day, over my business, over my life, because I was now in control of what I did. I want you to have that same sense of empowerment. When you are empowered, when you are making choices in your life, when things are happening because you've decided that they will happen, that opens up a whole new world. That is when you gain health. That is when you get fit. That is when your mind and your emotions are now where you want them to be because you are in control. Time management is a very important way to gain control of your life. So your homework, first of all, get a list of everything that you've done, at least for one day. I would love to see that list, and that's going to be part of the accountability here. And if you've just handwritten it, snap a picture of it and text it or email it to me. And then the second one, over the course of the week, is to take that list and put it into the 4D box. And I want to see that too before this week is up. So please get that to me and I'll get you some feedback on your 4Ds and on your list. And any questions that you have, if you're getting stuck with things, maybe you're uncertain as to whether it should be deferred or dumped. Maybe you need suggestions on how to delegate. I'd love to help you out with that.